It's ended. What a belter this was. Like, it's ended just now after an 8-minute extra time, which basically when meant United had to hold off Crystal Palace from the 70th minute onwards with 10 men. And that's a very hard thing to do. Let's be honest about that. Crystal Palace are really attacking, and the way they play as well. The players that they had on the pitch, it definitely made a lot more difficult for any chance of like any chance of United gonna get anything from it. It's there's so much to talk about here, but let's quickly get into it. The big talking point, of course, is the red card for Casemiro that gets in around the 70th minute. There's a bust up with Anthony, but then it's found in the VAR check, which took forever, that Casemiro was holding the neck of Hughes. That was a potential red card. That was checked. VAR looked at it. The referee looked into it, and it was clear then. Once when you can unsee what you saw when you see that in a way. So, but then it was a red. United down to 10 men. It was a pretty weird timing to have that happen, right? Like, because let me just go back from that 70-minute onwards. What's happened is, like, United has kind of held off a good momentum with Crystal Palace. They've not dragged their feet. They've not gone defending. They're kind of on the charge all the time. There was almost a scare that United can score any moment. United have scored already in the first half, the 7th minute with a penalty. After Rashford's taken down and Bruno Fernandes scores that, and then in the second half, they start. Garnacho comes in after in the second half after Vegas is taken out at 59th minute, and then Garnacho, you see him moving with the ball, and then he plays a beautiful cross in for which it actually falls for a free and empty Rashford, which just opens up his right foot for a goal, but that goes in, and then you feel that the momentum is there. It's good. The game is over. Patrick Vieira can gonna pack his bags. It's Old Trafford. There's no chance they're going to come back. And this moment happened with Casemiro at 70th minute and that's when things change pretty much in a way. Sabitzer is gone on. Sabitzer is brought on. Then we have Harry Maguire and Lindelof who get in to hold off the attack. Crystal Palace then go full on attacking with Mateta coming in, Lokonga coming in, Eze coming in, and Amada coming in for Hughes, Decore, Schlupp, and Ayew. So basically, it's a full-on attack from Crystal Palace from there onwards. But then in my mind, the man of the match is the one defender that everybody did not want at United. But then I trust Erik ten Hag's decision of going with him. And he has been one of the best signings that I feel in the defense that we have. Lisandro Martinez, no doubt, undoubtedly, he is the only one because of whom United is winning these games and kind of getting off and trying to hold off these kind of moments in a way of winning 2-1 with a 10-man with he's holding off from Crystal Palace. Erik ten Hag, I'm sure there's a lot to kind of talk about. Casemiro's red card, that was reckless. Who's holding a neck, everyone's kind of just pushing, shoving, but then you clearly see that happen. And when you see that happen, and when you look back at the VAR, you can't unsee it, and that's the problem here. And one of the things is, like, it obviously is a disciplinary action. It's fine, but then United needed him. I think he loses one more match. He can't play the next game that United have, and that's something which will hurt United because United would want him to be there. Like, it's a double game week. They're playing Leeds United in like next 4 days, so that's going to be very interesting to see how United kind of. But then it was good to see Sabitzer getting some minutes already, so I think it's pretty sorted. But Sabitzer will kind of get the game, but then it was sad to see Casemiro leave and Casemiro kind of drop. Like, that was not needed. That could have just been clearly avoided. But anyway, that's ended. Manchester United 2, Crystal Palace 1. Good to see that Erik ten Hag is getting the results. I'm really happy to see that for a fact. It also takes United up to 42 points, which it's top 3. United is in the top 4 already. Newcastle is still not played their game. Newcastle plays in West Ham United in like in 24 minutes. So that's going to be interesting to see. But then, of course, if Newcastle win that game, Newcastle will go fourth. United will go on. United will go fourth. Newcastle will go third. That's going to be interesting to see. Let me know in the comment section. Do you feel Casemiro, that moment of like 1 second of kind of misjudgment in a way of like, of course you don't know when you're holding, but then he's like literally holding his neck. Like, is that needed? Do you feel that was rash? That was kind of the bad decision? In my mind, I feel, if you look at it the way that he looked at it, you can't unsee it. Of course, he didn't mean it. He was not kind of pressing the neck or so on, but then he was holding it. So, it is definitely aggressive. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you think about Erik ten Hag still kind of holding off and getting Sabitzer the minutes he got in? I think it almost feels to me like the United is getting their shape back a bit of kind of holding of such games, which they would lose or kind of draw in the last season. And it's interesting to see how Erik ten Hag has kind of molded the squad, and he's not afraid to make hard choices. Garnacho came on. Garnacho was the substitute got substituted, but that's fine. The game needed that, and he got the defense that we needed. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you think about the game? Do like the video, do share and subscribe. We'll be doing a couple of more videos in the weekend with the games coming up thick and fast. There's a lot already in the Premier League that I want to talk about. Of course, Chelsea, Arsenal. We've the curious case of Liverpool, that's still there. Brighton still kind of flying high. I don't know how they're still doing this, but then yeah, there's a lot to talk about. And a 6-goal haul and a beautiful Leicester versus Aston Villa game. A lot to talk about. I'll catch you in the next one, and take care.